Hey JP, Mike talked about you guys doing more live special team stuff. That's something you and him agreed upon during the off season that you thought was needed. How much do you see the benefits of that in today's instance where you got a little bit more work there?
Well, I think where we are as a team, it was a necessary adjustment for us to make to our fall camp schedule. You know, the first couple of years, it was really about establishing the fundamentals and techniques and trying to figure out who the right guys were for the units. Going into year 3, we have a lot more experience, a little bit more of a veteran presence on our team's units, and our installation and our progression and our teaching has been a little bit at a faster pace than it's been in the past. So Coach and I both thought it was the right thing to do to incorporate some more live element into the scrimmage sessions. And I think that also the addition of us having the ability to work a little bit more with the guys in the summer than we ever have in the past, has certainly been a help for us in terms of our development on special teams.
Kurt?
I know a number of the new guys have been kind of the guys working back there on return, both kick and punt. How much have those guys, Deuce, Trey, Micah, really revolutionized kind of the return game for you potentially this year?
Well, I mean, those 3 guys were all important additions to our roster. In what they do offensively, but then also what they bring to the table from a special teams perspective. I know it's what we need as a program, some consistency at the returner spot. Those 3 guys are doing a really good job, in addition to some other guys that were on the roster before. But I've really liked what I've seen in these first 9 practices from all 3 of those guys that you referenced.
Chris?
How did you guys do on the edge as far as like Jared's play today and what you got from Derek and other guys that worked that position for you?
I thought it was a pretty solid day in terms of how we played on the edge. I did feel like we got some pass rush, especially early on. I thought from an assignment standpoint, it was pretty clean. And we played a lot of guys. We played all 9 of the guys that are in camp at defensive end played, pretty significant reps today. With the first group, we repped Derek, Jared, Dennis Briggs, Pat Payton, and Leonard Warner all took reps at different times with the first group, and Byron Turner did it as well a couple times. So I tried to operate it like it was a game from a defensive line perspective, where we did have a first group, second group, and third group. But as series went on and drives developed, I had it in my mind what I wanted the final rep count to be, and I felt comfortable repping a bunch of different guys with that first unit.
Aslan?
I guess half the battle with Jared, according to Coach Fuller, is just desire. Jared does have that desire to want to be the best. I mean, I know reps is really what it's going to come down to, but what does he need to really kind of develop here for you guys to feel comfortable with what he can be to kind of fill the void left behind? Can it be done in a preseason camp, or is it just going to come down to games in the fall?
No, I think every single day is an opportunity for Jared to improve on the things that he needs to improve on. To me, he has the want to, he has the strength, he has the quickness, he has the long speed, he has the toughness, he has all those things that the ingredients that you want for a defensive end. Where he really needs to just continue to develop is, he's an unfinished product. So from a fundamental technique, and then also from within our scheme, all those are areas that he needs to continue to grow. But the way he approaches practice and his type of work ethic, as long as he stacks up day after day after day of incremental improvement, he'll be where he needs to be. I'm very confident of that heading into the fall.
Corey?
Yeah, JP, I was going to actually try to sneak 2 questions in here. Number 1, the kickers. How have you liked Fitzgerald and the 2 punters in practice, and then obviously tonight? And then Dennis Briggs. Coach Fuller and Coach Norvell talked about him being a special guy, or he could be a special player. Why? Why did they say that? And do you think he could be like have an impact like Kieran Thomas?
I'll start with the Dennis Briggs. Dennis has that unique skill set of size and speed and athleticism. So for us, we feel like he presents a problem for offenses in terms of the run game because it's like having a defensive tackle body type on the edge. But he also has the athleticism to rush the passer. Now, his skill set in terms of a pass rush is going to be a little bit more of a power rush mentality, but he absolutely has a very good pass rushing skill set. So I think your comparison and analogy to Kier is on point. That's what we're looking for out of him. That was one of the reasons why we moved him out there, is because we felt like he could provide that same physical nature at the defensive end spot. So I'm really excited about him as a player and what he's able to bring to the table. In terms of the kickers, I'll start first with the place kickers. I think Ryan's had a very solid camp. He's approached his day-to-day exactly how I would have expected him to. He's hitting the ball fairly well. And I've been pleased with him. Aiden Shariari has taken the majority of the reps as the backup place kicker, and really he's had a very good camp. He came off an ACL from a couple springs ago, and really this fall was the first time I feel like he's all the way back. And so I've been pleased with his development. In terms of the punters, with the exception of one day that wasn't his best, I feel like Alex Mastromano's had the best fall camp that he's had since he's been here. He's consistent with his ball striking. He's really kind of added, some elements to his game that, I'll kind of refrain from getting into too specifically, but he's really done a nice job in terms of how he's approached this camp and his improvement. And I'm really excited about Max Shimento. He is the freshman that this is his first fall camp. He's had some really, really good days. He's got to continue to become consistent, but he absolutely has a high ceiling. So I do feel good about the specialist spot.
Aslan?
Byron Turner's a guy who really couldn't give you guys a lot in practices last season. How does that make whatever he's doing for you guys right now that much more impressive? And what are your kind of expectations for him, you think, after a scrimmage now that you've seen him play?
Well, the thing about Byron is he plays exceptionally hard with a high motor. And really, the way I kind of look at Byron is this is like his true freshman year, because he didn't have that opportunity with the surgery that he had a year ago to really have the same experience that like a Pat Payton had, where he had that whole fall to continue to develop. Byron lost that. So, to me, he's still, going through his development phase as a freshman. And if you take it from that perspective, he's way ahead of the curve. And I think most of the reason that is the case is because of just his toughness and his attitude in terms of how he plays the game.
Anything else for Coach? All right, we're all set. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you guys.